Oh, hey, it's me. It's you. Here we are. Uh, it's early and I am getting ready to go run, even though I don't think it's going to happen the way I want it to. My lower extremities are not pleased with me lately. Um, which is weird because I've successfully lost some weight and I've a good ways to go. But, I thought being less of me would be easier on the lower extremities, the knees, the ankles, the Achilles, and that hasn't seemed to have taken place. So, yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens when I get out there. But yeah, I wanted to take a little bit to put out a show and discuss a few things that I've discussed in the past, but I've kind of haven't brought up in a while. And maybe one of you can tell me, hey, you know what, you've changed a bit in your outlook on this thing, or yeah, hey, you're boring us with the same talk about the same stuff. So we'll see. Yeah, basically, it comes down to that I have a new friend of sorts who we've been messaging back and forth a little bit, and this is someone who I can relate to in that she listens to the show when she lays down to go to bed, and then pretty much just falls asleep because of my calming demeanor and my voice. um, and doesn't really hear much of the show, right? So she doesn't have a firm grasp on as much as some of you who have listened for some reason to every episode, or a majority or whatever. Um, and so it got me thinking, like, hey, wow, it's weird that there's clearly a connection of some sort, right? Like we get along, and there's interest in each other's people and stuff like that. But like with some of you that I message, it feels like everything about me. And so anyway, so I thought I would kind of revisit some of these things, and maybe it just got me thinking about stuff. So yeah, I'm so out of sorts. Hey, you know what? It's Sunday, June 27th, 2021, and as of this recording, I'm still depressed, but I'm not dead. So, hobbies. Hobbies. I am once again faced with the fact that I don't feel as though I have any hobbies. And, a lot of people argue, well, you do this podcast and you run. And, I guess those are the two things that maybe I do that could qualify as a hobby, unless wasting away in front of Netflix is a hobby, which I don't think it is. But, in my diluted mind, a podcast, a hobby is something that, like, that you enjoy doing and you want to get the experience of, right? Like if you collect stamps, like you're excited because you find the stamp with the upside down Viking ship on it, or whatever, right? Like, wow, that's so rare. Or if you are a birder, right, and you enjoy the walk of going through the woods down the nature trail, whatever, and maybe seeing a bird that you haven't seen before, or see a bird that you've seen a dozen times in the past week, but it's doing something different. It's in a different location. It's some whatever. Um, and or you are a model shipbuilder and you want to build the best model ship that you can in a bottle, let's say. And like none of those really apply to this podcast or my running, right? Like I don't look forward to recording a show. It's actually kind of stressful in that I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I don't look forward to running, and in fact, it's kind of stressful in what body part is going to hurt this time. I don't really try to do things to improve either, right? Like, I mean, I could, if I wanted the podcast to be better, I would plan out. I would think about things I want to talk about. I would have ideas written down. I would have references. I would have spend more time editing it. Like I used to edit out the ums and the uhs and the ohs and I don't do that anymore. And it's not. Well, it is. It is. I mean, it's. I was gonna say it's not so much that I don't care about the show. I mean, I care in that I want to put it out because I think there's value to it for other people. But like I don't put it out because there's value to me. And I've talked about this, right? Like early on, it was about me, and then somewhere it changed to being about you. And I just and like the running, I don't do like I don't run hills. I don't run. I don't really look for the best pace. I kind of run at what I run at. I don't think about I think about my form when my body hurts, but when it comes down to running, like I don't think about my form. I just think, okay, I'm gonna run. So, I recently bought some new running shoes, and that sounds like something. Well, hey, there you go. And I did some research into it, but basically, I found some shoes that have what's called a bigger drop from heel to midsole, and that's supposed to be better for people with Achilles pain. So why do I run, right? Like, it clearly checks some boxes of being a hobby, but I do it basically. I think I really do it as a way to burn calories so I can eat more. So then is eating a hobby, right? Like something, no, I don't like seek out different foods or different styles of food or, different flavors. I mean, the flavor I seek out is pizza flavor. But it's not like it's not like every Sunday I say to Nora, hey, let's try out this pizza place. It's no, I would just, let's just get pizza. So I struggle with the hobby thing. And there was actually a few moments a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever. I don't know when it was, when I was like bitten by the idea of a hobby bug, and I just I said, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna find a hobby. Something's gonna interest me, and I actually spent a little bit of time on different websites. I took a BuzzFeed quiz. That's how involved I was in finding a hobby. A BuzzFeed quiz, which is not at all like me. And it came up. Well, first one came up with like gardening. I was like, I have no interest in gardening, right? Like I don't. And another one came up with like computer programming. And I'm like, I mean, I've thought about that before, but I just don't. Like I don't know. I don't have an end goal for that. So, well, 10 minutes I've talked about hobbies. So there's that, right? Like like some of you have hobbies. I'm sure of it. Like what are your hobbies? Why do you do them? What do you get from it? Is it, it's got to be more than just passing the time, right? You've got to have some kind of drive, some kind of impetus for wanting to do it. I mean, if it's crossword puzzles, whatever, great. But I have a crossword puzzle app on my phone, but it's basically just to like kill time sometimes when like I'm waiting for a store to open, right? Um, I don't know. I don't know. So there's the hobby thing, right? Like, I mean, I've talked about this before, and um, maybe some of you have some odd hobbies, and you don't mind sharing it with me and letting me know, hey, this is what I do, and maybe you'd find interest in it, or maybe it would be like just like because I know someone who does this hobby, it creates interest in it for me. That's possible, right? We'll see. So let me know. Hit me up with your hobbies. Let me know. Jamolki@gmail.com, facebook.com/Jamolki, @Jamolki on Instagram and Twitter. Jamolki on TikTok as well. That's right. I said TikTok. I'm there. Text me 248-648-1419. I still get my Google Voice messages on my new iPhone. So yeah, that's right. I'm on an iPhone now too. Yeah. So do those things. Something else. Whatever Jamolki, Jamoalki. I'm out of sorts. I'm watching this dude get his bike gear all put together. Waiting for the trail to open up. This is a guy who's like interested. He has a hobby, right? I mean, he's got this bike. It looks, I don't know how expensive it is, but it's got this enormous gear rack on it, right? Like, and he's got the giant tires, right? Like the almost like swimming pool inner tube kind of tires on it. And he's out here stretching, and he's changing his shoes to put on biking shoes now, and he's in it. Good for him. So yeah, what was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Yeah, I mean, there's that. I mean, and the hobby thing always leads into like passion. Like, I don't have passion for anything. And yeah, I don't know. Hang on, the trail guy's here, so I gotta drive up a little bit. I'll be right back. Hey, so I'm back. Yeah, I'm all nestled into a parking spot up at the head of the trail. So passion leads into a lot of things, I think. There's, passion relates to excitement, it relates to interest, it relates to emotion, and that's where I focus on now, is like in this part is emotion. And this new friend of mine, a new friend of the show, brings up, is big on how do you feel, like what's your rating on a scale of mosquitoes on your eyeball to pure bliss. Like, where are you? And I would say I'm a 5, right? I'm a 5. I'm not up, I'm not down. I'm just a 5. And I think I've talked about this. I know I've talked about this a little bit. Where like maybe sometimes like I'm a 5.25, but like as soon as I think about it, it's gone, right? And I mean, it's well documented on this show that I don't like I don't know that I feel like a 4 or 3 or 2, right? And maybe there's a split second where like I feel like there's a little bit of there's a little lightness in my step, and then okay, why? And it's gone. So that's why I say like I'm always a 5, because I just because in effect, that's what I am, right? I mean, and regardless if, in my mind, regardless if ever like feel like if the experience is ready to hit me as like a 7, right? But because my twisted neurons have decided that, hey, we're not going to allow emotion to affect us. So nothing low, we're protecting ourselves from that, and because of that, we protect ourselves from nothing high. Um, like if that's my reality, then I'm always a 5, right? Regardless if there's like a split second, and this is my opinion, but if there's a split second where like there's a chance for like woohoo, but it just is gone, then I'm always a 5. I'm a 5. That is my reality. I am a 5. Um, and I hear some of you thinking, well, okay, so why do you talk to people? Why do you message people? Why, um, why have you been able to have this back and forth with this new friend of the show? Um, and I really think it's because my parents raised a good person, and like someone shows interest in you, you give the perception of showing interest in them. And I mean, that sounds terrible, but like I care. I guess I care. I care that a person is well, right? Um, but I don't like. I don't empathize with their ups and downs. Um, I want I want everybody else to be at least a 5, and if they're better than a 5, then that's great for them. But if they're lower than a 5, then if I can, I do. So if I can send a message that says, "Hey, hope you're doing well. Hey, whatever." Um, I imagine that someone who's interested in interacting with me, like a message out of the blue every once in a while, is is nice for them, right? Like, and maybe it's not always. Maybe it's like, oh, what does this guy want again, or whatever. And I've experienced that. I mean, I've got just a slew of people in my Google Voice that our conversations are archived because, like, I sent out like a Merry Christmas, and then I sent out like a, hey, it's February, how are you? And then maybe I'm like, oh, Mayday's here, and like. I don't nag like every day or something, but if there's like three out messages that haven't been replied to, then I just feel like, okay, they've moved on, they've whatever, and I don't bemoan them. I don't have negative feelings about that. I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not going to bother that person anymore. But if I send a message and they message back, then hey, okay, I'm probably not bothering them, right? I mean, I still feel like, why in the world would someone want to interact with me? But um, I'll keep doing that for a while, and it's the rare few of listeners who I still interact with. There's Ted and Sophie, and of course Claire. And I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I just don't know. There's, there's I'll say probably hundreds of people who I've initially interacted with this show. That I can count on probably 2 hands the number of people who I've continuously interact with. And sometimes it's, once in a great while. Sometimes it's every day. Sometimes it's whenever I see their name pop up on Facebook or something, right? Like my friend Kate. I adore Kate. But, we don't interact that much. She's got stuff going on. I've got stuff going on. But, in those rare times when we get to chat for 10 minutes, it's, it's, I like to do that because I don't know, we have a connection. So I guess that leads to like some kind of emotion, right? Some kind of up or down. Um, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. That's a tricky one. Oh, Kate, you threw me a curveball. um, so yeah, I don't know. 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 But so even like with them, so like with Claire, like she's got a lot going on, right? And I'll send her a message on Instagram. I'll send her a message on Facebook. I'll send her a message somewhere else too. Where is it? I don't know. Um, and like I won't hear back necessarily, but there's something a little bit more that we friended each other on Facebook, which I can cling to enough to say, well, they took the time to do this. So next time I see a little green dot next to her face when I'm on Facebook Messenger, I'll send her a message again, and maybe it'll click. So that's weird, right? So there are a few people who I will badger, I guess is how in JP speak, in JP's mind, how it goes. Um, hmm, little more thinking to go into that. I don't know, but yeah. So there's that. Um, uh, okay, so what's going on with me? So I got the promotion, I guess we're calling it, though there's no pay raise and there's clearly whatever, but manager in training kind of thing for my company. And I talked about this, right? So real quick, so there's a chance to learn about being a manager, and there's no downside to it. If it doesn't quite work out, I go right back to what I was doing. So yada yada yada. I'd be a fool not to give it a try. Well, they they the senior managers have decided that, hey, you're someone that we want to give this opportunity to. So I start that on Tuesday with training. I've got some Microsoft Teams invites, basically like really base kind of stuff, like how to write an email, how to interact with management, how to be a good listener, right? Good stuff. Good stuff. But we'll see how that goes. So that's happening. Like I said, I've lost a little bit of weight. It's been a little rough. My girls have been here this week, and we tend to make snacks. I've talked about that. And it was Father's Day was a week ago, and I was like, oh, it's Father's Day. Well, calories don't count on Father's Day. And yesterday was my 17-year-old's birthday, and, calories don't count on birthdays. And today is Nora's birthday, and calories don't count on birthdays. So, we'll see. It's foreboding that I'm heading into this non-active job, right? Like I go out in stores and work, and it's on a slow day, I go out and I come back with like 7,000 steps. And then I still have time to go to the trail and run or walk or do whatever. And now hours are more like 8 to 5, 8 to 6 kind of thing. And so, in the house. So I'm pushing to get a treadmill. Of course, Nora is a Peloton freak, so she wants to get a Peloton tread if we do this, and they're not making them, or they're not selling them right now. And so there's a little bit of me that's kind of anxious. Like, am I just going to balloon up until the mid-July, end of July, when we can get one, when they finally start selling them again? I want to have something. I envision, if this job entails a lot of meetings or whatever, like, can I do like a Microsoft Teams meeting on Bluetooth while I'm walking on a treadmill? I could handle that. And then, if I'm not done until, with my day till 6:30, can I hop on the treadmill for a run? Do I have to take a lunch? And if I'm required to take like a 45-minute lunch to an hour, well, I'll take an hour lunch and I'll run for 45 minutes and then clean up. I see those things. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if I balloon up because I'm home all the time and that's where the food is. That's where the calories live. So that's going on. We're going to an amusement park here in North Carolina, out by my girl's house in Charlotte, Carowinds. The six of us are going, Nora and myself and my two younger and Nora's kids. And we'll see how that goes. We'll see. It's a lot of disparate personalities, and we'll see if it's enjoyable. It's only going to be like 93 out, which is what, 30? 30? Yeah, 30. Centigrade, Celsius, whatever we call it, whatever you non-Americans, wacky kids out there use for measuring temperature. So that's going on. Yeah, I mean, summer is here, so summer things are happening, and yeah. Okay, so that's it. I've yammered on. I've yammered. Maybe I've accomplished something. Maybe I haven't. Maybe you want to listen to more. Maybe this is the one that pushes you over the edge that you don't want to come back and listen to again. But I hope you like and subscribe and leave a message, a rating. That's what I'm trying to get at. 5-star reviews and good words. That's what I want to see. That's what the algorithms want to see to help other people find the show, and hopefully gain a little benefit, maybe some insight, maybe just, hey, you're a nice voice that I want to fall asleep to. Whatever. Let's help out other people by raving about this show, about the guy who doesn't formulate a plan. Yeah, so that's it. Send me a message. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you're up to this summer and or this winter, if you're down under the equator. So, yeah, that's going to be it. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I appreciate you all so very much. Thanks. Everybody be safe and be well.